Yes, Alan Raj, you've raised your hand. So may I know whether you have any queries or something? May you type your queries in chat if you're unable to like talk? Thank you.
Hello everyone, we'll start in a few minutes.
So again, welcome guys. On behalf of the Kumaraguru MUN Secretariat, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you guys to the online RoP session. So basically, we are having this session to make people aware of the rules of procedure of the MUN. Of course, the detailed explanation for the same will be given by your EB members in your committees, but this was done to give a basic idea before the start, before the start of the conference. So that's about it. So with that being said, let's move to the presentation. So this is the overview of, I mean, these are the contents that are there in our presentation. I'll just explain about the introductory remarks, the conduct of business, the points and motions, and the themes of committees. So conduct of business. So first of all, English is the official language, obviously. So English is the official language for all of the committees except for AIPPM. Where AIPPM, you're allowed to speak in English and other regional languages recognized in India. So that's there with the human committees and the AIPPM committee. And with the decorum, delegates are expected to maintain a very good decorum in the entirety of the committee. So that's there. And when you guys come to the committee, the chair will declare the session in order, and then the roll call will happen, where you will give your stance either absent. I mean, if the delegate not is absent and it's present or present and voting. So present and voting meaning like if you're saying present and voting, you'll be a part of the voting process and all of it. If it's present, then you will be part of the voting process. So that's about it. And with speeches, every delegate, I mean, the general speakers list is there, where each delegate will be talking about their stance on the agenda in that committee. So that's general speakers list. So there, the delegates will be explaining, I mean, they will explain their stance. It's around 90 to 120 seconds, I would say 60 to 120 seconds. So where the delegate will explain what their stance is about their agenda. And then there's something called yielding time. So yielding time meaning if you feel like I mean, the maximum duration for GSL is 2 minutes. So if you complete the GSL before that, you'll have something around 30 seconds or 20 seconds remaining. So you can yield that time. So that you could yield it to the chair or yield it to the delegate or yield it to the questions. And there's something called right to reply. And all of it will be discussed subsequently. So speeches again, the setting time limit and prior permission. I mean, like I usually say prior permission depends on the committees. So for speakers list, there is a time limit of 120 seconds, and an order of chair and all of the remarks come along the way, and with yielding time. So like I said before, when at the end of 120 seconds, you have, I mean, if you complete your speech before 120 seconds, you you can yield it to the delegate. I'm sorry, is my voice clear? Can I get some sort of thumbs up or any sort of reaction or in the chat or something like? Can you just say yes? All right. Thank you so much. So, yeah, thank you. So with the yielding time, like I said, you can either yield it to the delegate. If you're yielding it to the delegate, you have to inform the delegate priorly and get the permission. Say, for example, you're the delegate of India, and you feel like you would like to yield, and if you feel like yielding the time to any other delegate, say for a delegate of Sri Lanka, you have to get permission from uh, the other delegate saying that I would like to yield my time to you, and it will be done like that. And second, yield to questions. The yield to questions, then the EB members will say, "I'm 3 points of information I entertain, 2 points of information I entertain." So that will be done in the committee and yield it to the chair. If you feel like I would like to yield it to the chair to help in the conduct of the committee, you're welcome to do that. So these are the three fields that are available. Right to reply. There's something called right to reply, which is quite interesting. So say for example in the committee, if personal insult is directed towards you, um, then you can claim a right to reply. Be it in any committee, if there are some personal insults where the delegate insults your country personally, then you can claim right to reply and then answer to things accordingly. And you could basically say or defend your country or speak against the allegations. So that's there. So points and motions. I'll be explaining also about the points and motions. So point of personal privilege. So basically, point of personal privilege meaning if you feel like you want to have the AC temperature reduced, if you feel like basically it's a point raised in a committee to if you feel like wanting to take like a personal break or something, can raise a point of personal privilege. So that's there. So basically, in an MUN, what is done is that even for all of because there is MUN happens with a certain rules and this is sort of a procedure to do business in that committee. So for that, there are certain points and motions which have to be followed. So one such thing is a point of personal privilege. So if you want to take a personal break or something related to your personal comfort, then you can raise something point of personal privilege and say for example want to use the restroom or you want to have the AC temperature reduced, increased. Okay, at this point, for all of this, you can claim point of personal privilege. So next is point of order. So am I audible? All right. Next we have point of order. Am I audible? And 1 second, guys. All right, am I audible now? I believe I'm audible now. All right. So point of order meaning yes. Okay then. All right. So point of order meaning if uh, um point of order, like I've said, the delegate raising a point of order cannot discuss the substance of the issue at hand. Say for example, this point is raised. If this point is raised, it means that the delegate lacks proper decorum and all of it. So that's point of order. So moving on to the next one, point of information. So point of information meaning if you want to ask questions. So that's called point of information. So at like I said in GSLs, if a delegate ends their speech, um, point of information meaning questions are entertained. So that's called point of information. So moving on to the next one, point of inquiry, which is also known as point of parliamentary inquiry. So if a delegate has a doubt regarding the proceedings of the committee, if the delegate has a doubt regarding uh, the happenings of the committee, then the point of inquiry, which is also known as point of parliamentary inquiry, can be raised. So that's the points that are raised in a committee. I think it's clear, and have been told that my voice is breaking in the middle. So I'll just summarize the points that were told. In short, point of personal privilege meaning, sorry, in short, point of personal privilege meaning, if you want to take a personal break, you can raise something called a point of personal privilege. And point of order meaning, but if the committee is going in, if the chair wants to, say the point of order, establish like a delegate's text and all of that. So that's something point of order. And point of information, like I said, it's questions. If you want to raise a question, it's called point of information. And point of inquiry, point of parliamentary inquiry, it means to ask to the chairperson regarding the proceedings all the happenings of the committee. So that's about it. So with motions, Hariharan will be explaining about motions. Thank you guys. Over to Hariharan.
Hi everyone. So we'll go with the motions actually. So we have people here monitoring the voice issues, but in case if you have any voice issues, just raise your hands or put it in the chat box so we can look into it. And in case if I'm running, state that to the chat box and I will go slowly too. So let's. I suggest everyone to read along these motions. The total motions explanations will be given to you by the chairs of the committee. The exact the way that you say the motions will be executed will be told to you by the chairs. Let's start with the motions actually. So first is the motion of for caucus. So what is the caucus? There are two types of caucuses, moderated and unmoderated. And these caucuses are the happenings of the committee. What happens in the committee? Caucuses happens in the committee. So there is two, moderated caucus and unmoderated caucus. So what is in moderated caucus? A moderated caucus is a motion for you should actually mention the total duration and the time allocated per speaker on a moderated caucus. This moderated caucus will be based on a specific topic. For example, if you have Palestine issue as a topic and invasion of the interference of USA would be the moderated caucus topic or something like that. So anything specific that you need to discuss for over 10 to 15 minutes will be your moderated caucuses. So your general day will be split into these moderated caucuses and unmoderated caucuses. So it should be initiated by either a chair or you guys, actually the delegates. So this is the moderated caucuses. And during the moderated caucuses, you guys would speak about the topic that's the agenda and the specific moderated topics without any general speakers list. That is a different topic that was discussed with Yanesh. So we'll have a general speakers who list. This is separate from that. And next is the unmoderated caucus. The unmoderated caucus is a motion for is a motion for a specific duration where you engage in something called as lobbying. So what is lobbying? Lobbying is something that you form alliances with people that align with your geopolitics. Actually, your country's geopolitics. For example, USA can form alliances with European nations, but it cannot form an alliance with Russia or Germany or countries like that. So should be clear with the geopolitics while lobbying. So for passing a moderated caucus or a resolution, lobbying is an important asset that you guys have. So use that wisely. To lobby, you guys pass an unmoderated caucus. A specific duration should be mentioned for passing an unmoderated caucus, and all these caucuses are passed based on the majority vote. Okay, so when majority people vote for it, the motion passes. So this is all about the moderated caucus and unmoderated caucus. Next, we'll go to the motion to table debate. So in case there is some discussion going on that you feel that it should be debated on, or if there is a resolution being passed and you guys feel that that resolution should be debated upon, you guys pass a motion to table debate. Okay, it can be passed at any point during a discussion. The committee can consider a motion to table debate on the current topic proposed by the chair or in any delegate. So, motion to table debate is not much used by the delegates. So, I suggest you guys to use it wisely. Use it. That's a very good asset to have. Okay. So, if seconded, two speakers may argue in favor and two against the committee votes. So, it will be like a debate sessions on the floor. So that can happen, or you can discuss on the resolution that's being passed. Okay, so this needs a two-thirds majority and to pass. So this can also you can also reintroduce the topic for a debate, or a new motion can also be made. For example, if we are talking about something, but you need to do a debate on entirely a different topic, it can also be done. In a moderated caucus or an unmoderated caucus is done, you can raise a motion to table debate on a specific topic that was not previously discussed. So how would you do that? You would actually speak with members, your fellow delegates in the unmoderated sessions to pass a motion on table debate. As you guys can see, everyone needs a majority voting. So how would you get that majority voting? speak in the unmoderated caucuses, lobby in the unmoderated caucuses, so you can get the majority voting that for the motions that you need to pass. Okay, so this is the motion to table debate, and the next is closure of debate. So, delegate may motion to close the debate on the current item. So, if there is a debate going on, any delegate may rise and if you think that the debate is too deviating or it is not providing any valuable info to the current agenda, you can just rise up and state that pass a motion to closure of the debate. And this motion also requires a two-thirds majority to pass. So, okay, upon passing, the chair will immediately close the debate, and if this debate is on a resolution, the resolution voting would immediately start. Okay, so the voting procedures for the resolution will start, and the debate will automatically close. Also, if the speakers list is exhausted, if there are three on three speakers where there, no, for example, we'll go with the motion to table debate, a two-thirds majority. Okay, if seconded, two speakers may argue in favor and two against. So if this list is exhausted, or if there is no other point of inquiries or motions, the debate will just close. Okay, so that brings us to the closure of debate. And this is motion for caucus suspension of debate. If there is a debate going on and you guys want to pass a moderated caucus or an unmoderated caucus, you'll see motion for caucus by suspending the debate. Should mention that the exact wordings would be mentioned, will be taught to you by your chairs, so don't get confused in that. So you should it go like this actually. Motion for caucus by suspending the debate that's going on, like something like that in general English, but you should, the exact wordings will be provided to you by your chairs. Okay, so moderated caucus and an unmoderated caucus, which we previously discussed. And next is the adjournment of the meeting. So this is the closure of the entire floor. So actually, a delegate may motion to adjourn the meeting at any point during the discussion. So this motion is not subject of debate or something like that. If it is passed, the committee will adjourn. So if the motion gets the majority, the committee will adjourn. Usually you do that in the end of the sessions. I mean, end of day one or day two, to close the total meeting and again form the committee session and the next day morning. So you would usually adjourn at lunch times or high teas or stuff like that. So you will close this committee, not you will not pass in moderated caucus and unmoderated caucus. You want to leave the room. So that's it. So you want to close the committee and go to your businesses, and that's when adjournment of meeting comes into hand. So you will adjourn the meeting and you will reconvene at the next scheduled meeting. Okay. So this is the adjournment of meeting, and this is a summary of points and motions in order of their precedence. So in precedence means if two to three people are raising their hands at the same time, uh, there is something called as precedence. I mean importance. So the other words for precedence, you can say it as importance. So point of order has more importance compared to personal privilege. So when the point of order was passed, if there is a wrong decision by the chair, I mean claim a wrong decision by the chair, the decision will be made by the chair, and this point of order has an highest precedence, followed by point of personal privilege and inquiry. I hope the point of first order and personal privilege and inquiry were clearly explained by Janesh. And we have the same precedences in the motions too, and that would be explained by Janesh for motions precedence. I hope I'm clear. Thank you guys. If any queries, feel free to ask. Bombard me with questions. I'm free to answer. Thank you.
So all right. So thank you, Hari, for that. And so basically, this is the order in which, the points and the motions will be considered. Say, for example, at two or three, two or three delegates raise a point, basically, based on the order, it be recognized. So that's about this. So that's basically this. And with resolutions, voting, and suspension of rules, Joshua will be explaining about it. So now over to you, Joshua. Joshua, I believe you're there. Are you unable to mute? Yes, sure. So I think now you'll be able to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I hope I'm audible.
All right. Yes, sure. So over to you.
Okay, so basically, resolutions are the whole point of MUNs. Why MUNs are conducted is to make resolutions. So, in simple words, resolutions are nothing but they're like documents which contain solutions to the agenda. And apart from that, what all you have discussed regarding the agenda. Now, this document, that is resolution, it's not exactly like just plain solutions. They are solutions in a specific format. So you have uh, operative clauses and preambulatory clauses. So these two clauses, your chairs will explain it further in committee. But just to give you all a general overview of what it is, preambulatory clauses are more of like understanding the problem and writing facts about it. Operative clauses are the main actionable clauses or the main solutions regarding the agenda. So that's about resolutions. And you have signatories and authors as well. Your chairs will explain about it. And now you have voting. So resolutions have a very special kind of voting. You generally have 3 rounds of voting. And in the first round of voting, you have 6 options. That is yes, no, yes with rights, no with rights. You have abstain and pass. Yes basically means that you agree to this resolution and you want it to be passed. No means you don't want it to be passed. Yes with rights means yes, you want it to be passed and you are willing to say why you want it to be passed. No means no with rights means you don't want it to be passed and you want to give an explanation for the same. Abstain basically means that you want to stay neutral. Pass means that you want to vote in in the later rounds. Okay, so what happens in round two is that those who have chosen for the pass option in round one will have to give their vote in the second round. And then the third round is going to be the final round. So for a resolution to pass, you need a simple majority. You need 50% plus one. And regarding suspension of rules, so basically, the rules can be suspended again, subject to the chair's discretion, to the chair's decision. So yeah, that's it about resolutions. If you have any doubts regarding resolutions, please feel free to ask me.
All right. So that's about it. And yeah, questions will be answering all of the questions like at the end. So that's it, guys. So thank you so much. And now we'll be answering all the questions that you guys have asked. So anyone who has any questions, please raise your hands. We'll unmute you and you can ask your questions then. Or you can type anything works. You can type your questions in the chat and you can unmute yourself. Yes, Vishnu. Yes, Vishnu, please unmute yourself.
Dhyanesh, can you just forward this, presentation in the WhatsApp group so that we people in delegate affairs can too have a good look at it?
Yes, we'll be sending the presentation to all of the people, so no worries about it. Thank you. And yes, Alan
Thank you.
Raj. Yes, Alan Raj, please go ahead. Yes, Alan, you can go ahead. You've been unmuted. I mean, like, you can unmute yourself.
So, sir, will it be like the last MUN?
Yeah. Sorry, sorry, can you please repeat? Or if there's some difficulty, could you type your question in the chat so that we hear? All right, thank you. So, yes. All right. So I do remember reading a question about position paper, and that's with the EV members. I believe it was discussed in the background guides. So kindly refer to your background guides. And yeah, that I think that was discussed in the background guides. So anything with the question paper, please refer to your background guides, whether something that it was asked or not. And as it's an Indian committee, so that's why there'll be a little bit of differences in certain procedures, which will be explained by the EB members of AIPPM. So that's about it. So these were the queries I believe were apparently there. So any other approximate timing of the comp session for each day. All right. So on day one, that is on 27th, the registration desk will be open from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And then the inaugural ceremony is from 9:30 to 11. And from 11:15, 11:15 to 4:30 is the committee sessions for day one. And then on day two, it's 9 to 5:30. And on day three as well, it's 9 to 5:30. So that's about it. So any other doubts? So that's basically the rough, the rough, timings of, I mean, these are exact timings. So I'm just giving you, yeah. So yes, Satish, you have any queries? Place, place meaning yeah, it will happen like yeah. I mean like with yeah. I mean for Kumaraguru students, you all know about the venue, so I'll just tell it to you. So for external delegates, yes, basically on day one, be happening in the lecture halls of 1 to 5, which is the ground floor of our building. And on day two and day three, the event will be. I mean the committees will be happening on the lecture theaters, which is in the third floor. So that's about it. I mean, this in our college. I mean, the people in our college be knowing the location of the lecture halls and lecture theaters. For external delegates, no worries. We'll be guiding you. We have volunteers who will guide you to the venues. So that's there. All right. So any other doubts? Satish, yes, I think unmute yourself. Yes, yes, Satish, please. I believe I'm audible, guys. Like, was it a network error again? Sorry. I believe I'm audible. Thumbs up, anyone? Satish, yes, you can unmute yourself. Or, all right, this is Ashwat Pradeep. Uh, yes, Ashwat Pradeep, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. I just want to know, like, for the speakers list, when we give our each delegate gives their stance on the topic. Are we supposed to prepare that beforehand, or prepare any other documents beforehand, or will we have to prepare all of
Yes,
them on the day of the committee sessions?
yes. You should be preparing the speakers list beforehand. And once the floor is open for speakers list, then you can certainly nominate yourself and be on the speakers list, and then you can basically talk in the committee in the speakers list. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and you mentioned it's a maximum of 2 minutes, right? 120 seconds.
Yes, that's the usual. That's typically given in a committee.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So anyone else? All right. So seeing none, I believe uh, the ROP was fine, I guess, and the doubts are sorted, and I believe the delegates are familiar with the rules of procedure of an MUN. Again, if the delegates have any doubts, they can certainly ask it via our mail, which is mun@acc.ac.in. Yeah, that can be done. And I think we can wrap up the session. So Any other doubts, anyone? So again, like I'll just type the mail ID in the chat box so that if any queries regarding anything about our MUN, you can certainly give it in our mail ID. Type the mail ID over here. Yes, that's been typed. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so okay, guys, thank you so much, and it is a pleasure having you all in this online ROP session, and we are really looking forward to meet all of you guys in our committee session. Looking forward, guys. Thank you so much.